All right, everybody. Joey Nohana here, and I've got Anthony Caruso across from me from the table, shaped like a table.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Whatever the gimmick is. We're here to talk about Game of Thrones. Never really actually spoke about it before. Never had the chance to.
As we are total newbies to Game of Thrones, as we both only started watching it
but
over the winter.
Listen, I'm gonna say
We're
it
all
right,
caught up, so
I'm gonna say it right now.
it's like we've been there from the beginning.
It felt like forever. Trust me, it felt like forever.
From when we last
From
watched it.
February that I got all caught up.
Yeah.
I just want to point it out.
I was caught up before you, so it felt like longer.
I would like to point out to everybody who's been on the Game of Thrones dick since day one, I feel so bad for you. I wish I could cry the tears you cried, waiting year after year after year after year for this show to come back.
It's gonna suck even more because this season is short, and then having to wait the whole year for the next season.
For I believe season 8's the last one, right?
Yeah, season 8.
There's nowhere else you can go with this story other than the finale, which is where it's headed towards. But yeah, so I guess I'll start it off by saying I binge watched it in February of this year, got all caught up, and my biggest fear was founded. I had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Nothing left. I was going to buy maps. I was going to buy lore albums to fill my need. Anthony supplied me with his HBO Go. I'm sorry, HBO Now. There's a difference, by the way, everybody. I learned that the fucking hard way. And I think you started it in, January?
Something like that, yeah. Maybe December.
So he binge-watched it. He told me, you have to watch this fucking show. And much like every show ever, Breaking Bad, Dexter, literally every show that's been out there, Game of Thrones is indeed a show you must watch.
Yeah.
This is not bullshit. Like, everyone has their opinions. Like, they say everyone has an asshole and an opinion. No, this is not an asshole. This is like...
You mean that opinions are like assholes? Everybody has one?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
You totally botched that.
Yeah, I don't even care. This is mandatory. This show is mandatory, okay? There is no... You need to watch it at some point. No.
Yeah.
Best show on television.
It should be on top of your priority list. I mean, whether you like it or not after the fact, but you should at least...
Give it a shot.
Even if you're not into fantasy stuff.
Somebody actually told me that they stopped watching the show. Oh, no, our good friend Nick Gaskins,
he watched
AKA,
first,
he watched when Ned got killed?
Yeah, he watched first season, or most of the first season.
How the fuck could you stop watching?
He doesn't have HBO, so I mean...
You gave him your account.
Yeah, but he didn't watch it then and stop. He watched it a while back and stopped, and then he just hasn't picked it up. Because I mean, when you're not into something for a while, then it's...
I guess,
we binged all 6 seasons of it, so
we
were balls deep.
This show was like a bag of potato chips, a really small bag of potato chips for me. But yeah, I think he gave up when Ned Stark got killed. How the fuck did you give up? But anyways, so the show's back, and it's been a while for some of you, and only like 4 months for some of us.
Yeah.
So we have episode...
after the season's over, it's going to be a long year.
I'm gonna time travel, dude. I can't take this anymore. I can't. I will not accept any more than the season. I want it all, but then I don't want it all. But I want it all.
It would be nice if HBO Netflixed it and just put it all out.
No, it would. People would riot for more
I wouldn't have probably been able to get up for my early start
Making us
today.
wait for something is a good thing, everybody. I mean, we say it. We say it with good intentions. However, we have Game of Thrones. So we have Season 7, Episode 1, me and Anthony's first venture outside of the wrestling world.
By the way, are we going to give this podcast a name, like Pot of Thrones or something like that?
There's probably one out there.
I'm sure there is. But...
There's definitely a Thrones cast. There's a Pot of Thrones.
Yeah.
Let's just call it the Targaryen cast.
Yeah.
Something very pathetic that
the
no one else...
Targaryen Report.
or call ourselves Via the Raven. A message via Raven. That's going to be our new show name. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Who cares? So we have episode 1 of season 7, Dragonstone. This is the big episode where Daenerys returns to Westeros after forever, since the show started. And even further back, if you go into the Targaryen dynasty. I think she was outcasted. Or no, her father, her brother, pretty much her entire family was murdered. And then she was casted out to the west side. Or no, wait. No, this is the west side, right? Where's Dothraki and all that? That's definitely the west side, right?
I'm not exactly familiar with.
I'm not going to bring up the map. Somewhere over there with Dothraki and all these other places that she was. Her and her fucking ship brother that lasted like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Got sent off to another island in order to avoid being murdered. Oh, I believe it was Ned Stark saved her, didn't want to kill her, and Robert Baratheon was like, nope, gotta get rid of all these Targaryens.
Yeah.
But they saved her and told her, they just said, let the girl be. And this is what happens when you let the girl be. She's about to take over the fucking planet. So we have Dragonstone, and
well, if Robert knew how much of a cunt his wife was going to turn out to be, I'm sure he'd be okay with it.
You know what? I totally forgot Cersei was Robert fucking Baratheon's wife way long ago.
Yeah.
And now she's just the biggest piece of shit on the planet and the most entertaining piece of shit on the planet at the same token. But Dragonstone, what do you think about this, Anthony, from what you remember? When did you watch this? I just watched it like literally an hour ago. So
last night. I mean,
last
I didn't have much of a time frame to watch it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? What do you think about everything?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I was very excited for it to start. So I mean, anything that my opinion on is definitely overshadowed by my excitement for it to be back. So.
Hey, fun fact! I have the HBO Now up right now. It says 68 minutes. It was like roughly like 60 minutes, maybe 59.
There was like an 8-minute after, like what you call it?
The
episode.
The extras. People were raving about how there was going to be a 90-minute episode. I think this season, I believe they said it was episode 1.
Oh, really? I would think it'd be the finale.
Yeah, me too. They said this was going to be like 90 minutes, but I don't understand why.
Yeah, no, it was just north of an hour, and that's because of like the 8-minute inside the episode.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though. Every episode in this show is roughly about 60 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever, give or take. It does not last long enough. It just there's so much going on, and it feels like 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, it goes by quick.
Goes by quick
because it constantly keeps you in it.
Everyone's got a story going on right now.
Yeah.
So there's tons of footage time for lots of people. So what do you think? What do you think about everything? Did you like everyone's progression? Did you like everyone's story progression? Who was your favorite progressive story at the moment?
very much appreciated Arya and her how she killed all of the major Freys.
Major Freys. So, what do you think about your boy Ed Sheeran being in this episode?
I thought it was him.
It fucking was, dude.
I was like, that dude looks so much like Ed Sheeran. I didn't think it was actually.
I didn't even doubt it for once. There's only one ginger in the world that is very recognizable, and that's Ed Sheeran.
And there's somebody else. I was trying to remember. I think we were talking about that looked like him too, but I couldn't remember who else it was. But
not that I know of. All I know is Ed. And somehow, there was backlash for Ed Sheeran appearing in this episode. People thought that it took away from the scene because of Arya.
Why?
Good question. I don't know. If you Google it right now, just put Sheeran.
He's not Ed Sheeran in the show.
No, he's not.
He's just some random dude who got a couple of lines.
Yeah, and he sang beautifully at some random fire pit between a couple fucking soldiers with nothing to do. There was backlash for this. No idea why. People apparently thought that it took away from the scene, because Arya Stark. This was, kind of her moment to progress her storyline. Are you people fucking serious?
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking
yeah?
What? Why?
They didn't make it about him. He was a side character. He
was an extremely side character. It was a fucking cameo. All right, Ed Sheeran's not going to have sex with Daenerys Targaryen, thus creating ginger fucking blonde babies and running the world. It's a fucking cameo. So anyone out there who got really pissed off and butthurt about this scene, suck a dick. I mean, there was nothing really worth getting mad about. Like, why?
I don't understand. I didn't see anything about the backlash, but I don't understand why there would be.
And there are people who make cameos, famous people, singers that make cameos in this show. And because it's a fucking famous ass show.
Who cares?
People do it all the time. So you like the phrase getting murdered off, so I guess we'll...
Yeah. I was actually kind of confused for a second. I was like, wait, I thought he was dead. And I'm like, are they cutting back to them? I'm like, oh no, she can impersonate people. As the mask, yeah.
I guess my favorite scene would have to be probably... I mean, everyone's going to say Daenerys, but I think the Sandor Clegane humanizing was one of my favorite things in this episode.
Oh, when he's burying them and he's trying to say the prayer and he doesn't even remember.
And he looks to Thoros, the dude with the man bun, and he's like, I fucking know when a guy's going bald. That fucking man bun ain't hiding shit, my man. So I like Sandor's... his dialogue in this episode. I did enjoy Jon Snow putting his foot down.
I appreciate that you used the Hound's first name. I don't know how many people remember that. I didn't.
Sandor Clegane. Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone...
I knew Clegane and the Hound, but...
They call him Clegane because the mountain is also a Clegane, but he's the fucking mountain, and no one remembers him as anything other than the mountain. Yeah. So that's Sandor's brother way back when, before he got murdered, or got all fucked up, and got repackaged as the heater for Cersei on the sidelines. But yeah, that was it. That was two of my favorite things. I liked the forum that Jon Snow had. It was pretty cool how he said that everyone has to wield a spear. Everyone must know how to wield a sword because we're fucked if you don't know how to fight. Let's just put it that way. And that was the main theme of this episode, was the fact that there are people, like Cersei, who are preparing for a war on the mainlands. However, there's a whole army of undead coming. Yeah. And somehow we're still involved in the politics of Westeros. And that's one of my arguing lines for this whole show, I guess, up until this point, is the fact that, are people really fighting over other things right now?
Well, I mean, it's probably a bit of oversight and arrogance on Cersei's part, because they've never been there, the White Walkers, so she probably thinks that it's not going to be a thing. So she's more consumed with
power.
Yeah.
She's more consumed with power and having ships and being the best. When the walkers, when they do come around and winter will come, and everyone's fucked, no matter what. It doesn't matter what title you hold, you will die and eventually become a part of the undead army. So that's my big problem with this episode, or with the show, with people that don't believe in the White Walkers, like that fucker who was talking shit to Sam, that Archmaester who was like, shit happens, people live. Fuck off. Go back to putting that fucking heart on the White.
Well, when you don't see things for thousands of years,
I guess. But when Samuel, what's his last name? Tully or No, it's Tarly.
I don't.
Maybe it is Tully. No, Tully. He's not a Tully.
Tully is what you call it.
Yeah, it's Catelyn's family.
Yeah, it's Tarly. Yeah, Tarly. Yeah,
Tarly. Him and Jon Snow, I believe, are the only, and a couple of guys from the Night Watch are the only ones that have actually witnessed the Walkers.
Yeah.
In their prime.
Well, and some of the free folk too.
That's right. So yeah, we're gonna see where this all goes. The politics. See, personally for me, the politics don't matter. The White Walkers matter. Yeah. If I was in this show and I'm Jon Snow, because we had Sansa going, hey, Cersei's coming for you and for everything you've got here. Yeah. Jon's like, yeah, that's down south. They're right there. We're here. Yeah. What battle should we fight here? Which is, I guess, going to be the storyline.
I was going to ask you, what did you think of the bit of dissension between Sansa and Jon?
Well, I believe there's going to be more dissension at some point.
Say, do you think it was just like a momentary thing, and they'll eventually come together, or are they going to split apart?
Well, if you watch the extras, for me it wasn't a big deal. But when you watch the extras, the writers are basically saying that Sansa is the rightful heir to the throne. She's other than Arya, the only true, and Bran, I guess, the only true but relevant at the moment in Winterfell.
That she knows, because she doesn't know the whole Jon Snow backstory yet.
That's true. But at this moment, Sansa is the only one that could really be the queen of Winterfell. And here comes Jon Snow with his beautiful hair going, nope, I died once, and now I'm back. And now I'm the king of Winterfell. So the dissension, I believe, will happen. Yeah. But I still feel like Sansa's not going to... Because I just don't know why Sansa would completely ignore her brother's wishes or her brother's intentions at the moment. Obviously, Littlefinger's a prick and wants to do something.
To be fair, they both face two great evils. Sansa's witnessed one, Jon's witnessed the others. And the other one has ignorance to the other. So it's easy for Sansa to not realize how much of a threat the White Walkers are, and it's easy for Jon to not realize how much of a threat Cersei can be.
That is true. We do have two Starks who were on two separate parts of the world at one point. Yeah. Fighting two different wars.
Especially a Cersei that finally has the power all to herself. She's not the wife of the king. She's not the mother of the king. She's the king.
She is the queen. Yeah. Don't misgender her. Don't mispronoun her. So we had Arya Stark wearing a Walder Frey mask, basically poisoned all the men, and got her revenge on the fuckers from the Frey family, I suppose. Because I knew something was going to happen. I figured when Walder got into the whole, stabbing a woman with a pregnant child, the whole slitting a mother of five's throat, I said, well, Walder's turning a corner here. He's turning babyface on us really quickly. Nope, it was Arya. Walder's dead.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
I'm surprised that well, not that I'm surprised, but I didn't think she was going to go after the whole family. I thought she just, because Walder Frey was the mastermind behind the whole thing.
You can't let the Freys
Well,
live.
obviously,
They're traitors.
Yeah. But I thought because Walder Frey was the mastermind, he was the face of the operation, that was her revenge. But no, she went full bore. And I appreciate that she left the girl alive to tell.
To send the ravens to the Seven Kingdoms, let them know that she's not fucking around.
That the North remembers.
Oh, the North remembers everything. The Walkers were on their way to Westeros with one, the former wildling giant.
Yeah.
Now they have him. They recruited him. He signed a contract with the White Walkers for 5 years, $0. But plenty of souls to be had, so they're developing. Here's the fucked up thing about the Walkers, is that they kill people, and they just make them a part of the team. No one is left behind, man. That's a democracy.
Yeah.
They do not leave anyone behind. They will gladly take you into their team as soon as you're dead. We saw Jon Snow absorbing 2 families that were once on Ramsay Snow's side.
Yeah.
And Sansa had an issue with this.
They were with the
Boltons.
The Starks for a long time until Ramsay Bolton.
Until Ramsay just kind of told them that they were a part of the team.
And this is where the bit of dissension we were talking about came in, where Sansa thinks that they should be denied their castles, and Jon wants to let them keep their castles because he doesn't want the sins of the father to be the sins of the son. Pretty much.
That's the thing with this show, is that people get punished for things that happen to other people all the time.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's kind of a good moral argument. Like, what is more important, especially when you're fighting a war, is the more recent act of betrayal what you hold the more accountable for, or do you push that to the back because you need men and they have 1,000 years of loyalty beforehand,
a long time of service, and one guy came around and just fucked it all up and threw a monkey wrench in the whole operation.
And when you're a side like family, it's when you're fighting a war, you want to fight on the winning side.
That's true.
Which wasn't that a quote from the episode or something like that? I'm pretty sure. I forget who said it, but someone said that in the episode.
Well, before the Men of the Vale came over, Jon Snow was fucked. Royally fucked.
Yes.
Him and the wildlings were definitely screwed. And then the Men of the Vale came
Him and Seamus were about to...
they were about to eat shit big time. Boy, that was a nasty episode. But I guess Sansa's argument is, hey, listen, I helped you out.
Yeah.
At least listen to me.
Yeah.
Jon's like, listen, I get it. You helped a brother out. But 1,000 years of service is not going to be forgotten because of one dickhead who came around and basically forced everyone to be on his side. You know, I mean, I'm going to side with Jon Snow on this one here.
Yeah.
I think Sansa's a little out of bounds here.
No, I don't think she's out of bounds. I get what she's saying, because, I mean, in all likelihood, if it wasn't for her, those families would have been responsible for him getting killed.
That's absolutely true.
Well, I mean, not that he didn't get killed anyways, but you know what I mean.
But in the same breath, you could just kind of realize that these two families who just blindly accepted a loyalty to Ramsay Bolton.
It's a good argument to have, but I side with Jon too. I mean,
I was gonna say
the father aren't the sin to the son.
I was gonna say
stuff. Plus they need men.
Yeah. Plus they need bodies. Yeah. Okay, people, listen. I know grudges are a thing.
Yeah.
But the White Walkers don't give a fuck what banner you fly, okay?
These guys are about to put spears in every man, woman, and children and dog.
Yeah.
They can, so.
They don't care, dude.
Yeah.
They do not give a fuck. They don't have any politics. It is a very much, it's run by the people, for the people, over with the White Walkers. So that happened. We had Cersei and Jaime basically talking about the whole, she's mentioning how there's issues to the north, issues to the west, issues to the east.
I believe it was Jaime that made the quote about people wanting to fight on the winning side. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, so Jamie seemed like the voice of reason here because Cersei's over here talking about wars in the north and blah, 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 blah. And Jamie's like, White Walkers?
Yeah.
Really want to fight a war? We have no people. You pretty much burned every bridge you had. And I remember Cersei called, I forgot her name. The last Tyrell, the mother of Marjorie and...
Oh my God! It's
she called
her a cunt, but
called her an old cunt.
Yeah,
that was a highlight of my day. Old cunt. But she's definitely, the Tyrells are definitely not on their side. But Jamie noted they have crop, they have food. How are you going to fight a war with no food, no cows, no livestock? What are you supposed to do? And Cersei's basically like, well, I invited the Greyjoys.
Yeah.
I invited the lesser Greyjoy because the other two are doing a way bigger operation over there with Daenerys Stormborn.
You mean the two dickless Greyjoys?
Yes. Well, Euron came over with his 8,000 ships, and it boggles my mind in the year 2017 to see all these ships come over, right? And then Euron gets denied, obviously, in the end by Cersei. We'll get into why, but gets denied, and he's like, all right, I'll be back. And it's like, okay, I'm going to go sail for another fucking 30 days.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind in the year 2017 as a millennial that people sail all this. I mean, I know exactly why, the time period, but it's just like driving to California, asking a girl for her hand in marriage. It's like, nah, not right now. Oh, okay, I'll be back.
Yeah.
And then you just drive way all the way back to California or back to fucking Pennsylvania all over again. So Euron came over, basically wants to become one with the Lannisters, says that they need ships, they need men. He's got it. And asks for Cersei's hand in marriage, I believe.
Yes.
Of course, Jaime's right there. He is not having that because that's his girl and sister.
Yes.
And he's super salty at this this proposal to his sister.
Yeah.
She goes, "Nope, you're a traitor,
wife.
sister wife. You're a traitor. Fuck off." And then he goes, "You're right about everything.
Yeah.
I totally accept the fact that I'm a complete piece of shit, but that's what we have in common. I will find a gift for you." So Euron Greyjoy is off to find something for Cersei to gain her affection, and maybe we'll get to see Euron x Cersei at some point.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't know why, but that will cause dissension with Jaime Lannister for sure.
Oh well, it's already brewing. He's
losing the blonde hair.
The babyface turn is imminent.
Jaime's turning into a good guy, like we've all wanted. He's always kind of been a good guy, I guess, but he's just always been on the wrong side.
Yeah, but he's like RVD in the Alliance.
Very true. Very much over with the crowd, but he's just in the wrong spot, man. He's just not. He's just, and plus the Lannisters, when you think about it, have nothing. They have nobody. They have no family to back them.
Yeah.
Okay? They're looking for the support from the Greyjoys, who have half their army. Euron has half.
Yeah.
The other two took the other half.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are you employing the Greyjoys for? I get it. You need men.
Yeah.
But even Jaime's like, they're not men. They're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing.
I guess they figure their expertise in shipbuilding will help them fight.
She does need ships.
Honestly, yeah.
You need ships to win wars. That's for fucking sure. So possibly the most disgusting fucking scene in the whole episode was Sam continuing his journey to be a maester.
Oh, yeah.
And in the process doing a whole bunch of fucking awful shit, dude. His gig blows.
Yeah.
Okay, you think your job sucks? But this guy's job really fucking sucks.
They really needed to show the shit like every time.
Yes.
It was awful.
It was disgusting, okay? And if you're like me, and you even hear someone gagging or almost about to puke, it's not very welcoming.
Yeah.
Okay? And the fact that I had to see this guy clean shit for like 5 minutes straight, and then clean bowls, and then get more shit.
By the way, why do they keep all the feces in like a box? Why don't they dump it somewhere?
Apparently the fucking macers are just old butthurt people who just read all fucking day long.
Yeah.
And do nothing but shit, piss, and eat. Why do these people exist?
Yeah.
Are they scholars? Boy, they suck.
Yeah.
Like, they are just old. And I don't know
They're
what...
supposed to know things and lend advice.
I guess,
yeah.
man. And shit a lot into a fucking chest.
Well, I think they're the old guys that can't really get up. I don't think that it's just every fucking dude. I think it's the guys who are bedridden.
Well, this scene taught me one thing, that the Maester contingent and the higher knowledge in the world of Westeros is just a bunch of dudes who are fucking old and read books.
Well, you have to get a lot of knowledge, and generally you acquire a lot of knowledge with
By
age.
reading
so
1,000 books.
well, reading books and with age, so
that's true.
it makes sense that the Maesters are all old as fuck.
And they're and like the Archmaester said, without them, the world is nothing but a bunch of dogs running around with no knowledge and no look into the future.
Yeah.
So I guess he had a point there. But in the process, man, Sam, shoveling shit.
Yep.
And keep staring at that fucking cage, that forbidden cage with all of the knowledge to defeat the White Walkers. But unless you're fucking old, you can't access it. But because the people
he's seen them firsthand. Do you think
he's killed one?
Yes.
And the funny thing about all this is that you have a bunch of people who are the people who can go in there are people who've never seen a White Walker.
Yeah.
But the guy who has seen a White Walker can't go in there yet. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, dude, listen, I have a photo of the White Walker that I murdered.
So
let me get in there.
A photo. So how long do you think it takes for him to steal the key and break in there himself?
Like literally the next episode
Yeah.
or the one after that. He's not going to wait that long.
No.
I don't think we're going to see Sam get old ever.
We're almost at the series finale, so he's got to speed up this process. He's got to become a maester by like episode 5.
The fastest. He must acquire all the powers.
Yeah.
Just read a book, do some meditating, and he'll get there
Yeah.
eventually. So that's what Sam's up to these days. Arya's heading towards King's Landing. She runs into a bunch of soldiers, a.k.a. Ed Sheeran and co. And they sing some songs, talk about how they haven't seen their kids and shit. Basically, a look into the world of a random fucking soldier.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. When they first invited her like to sit down with them, like the dark-haired dude kind of gave her a look, and I thought for sure that they were gonna gang rape her.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna like at least try to kill her.
I thought for sure she was you're gonna get killed or get gang raped, and
that was the end of that.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised that didn't happen that way.
They were just. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is Game of Thrones. That you can't really trust anybody. Because when she was slowed down, I'm like, I would keep moving.
Yeah.
There are people in Westeros who fucking suck. But they were just a couple of dudes who were just talking about shooting the shit, being random soldiers.
Well, she's a major character. I'm sure they would have tried to gang rape her, but she would have cut all of their dicks off with her little ass sword.
With needle.
Yeah.
Shoved it right up their pee hole.
Yeah.
Made sure they never peed again. But, do these guys return, or was this just a one-off? Who are they even soldiers for? What do they even do? Are they King's Landing soldiers?
They're sent to. They were sent after the Freys were killed.
To keep the peace.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they were dispatched after the murders, and look at them just hanging out.
So I wonder if she'll eventually turn them, like she'll get in with them, or if like
build her own army.
Yeah. Or if she'll eventually kill them because they won't dishonor the queen when they realize that when she said she was going to kill the queen, she actually meant it.
She was totally true. She was laughing her ass off, but on the inside, she's like, "Oh no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm very serious right now, and I could kill all of you with one swift strike."
Yeah.
But this was all right, and it's good to see random people just being fucking normal once in a while. But I just think it's funny how they were dispatched after the hundreds of men that were murdered on that night, and they're just shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Hanging out by a fire.
They have no attachment to these guys. People die all the time. They just don't want to.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They really don't care. We saw Sandor and the bandits, the Lord of Light guys hanging out. They ran into the house of the farmer and the daughter that Sandor basically told them that they were going to die of starvation, and they did.
Yeah.
And he kind of had a help in that.
Yeah.
Because he robbed them and just said fuck off, and they died. And
hey man, it's a dog-eat-dog world, man, out there. You gotta do what you can to survive.
But now Sandor is becoming a little more warm-hearted nowadays.
Well, I mean, you've seen the evolution over the seasons, especially since he's been with Arya.
He's learning to regret a lot of things.
Yeah.
The ghosts from his past are returning ever so slowly, and now he has seen the light. Literally, the Lord of Light. He saw it. He saw So as of right now, in the world of Westeros, the only Lord that makes any sense is the Lord of Light.
Yeah.
Who communicates via fire.
Yeah. And as much as he doesn't he thinks religion is bullshit. I mean, you can't deny what, and they said it in the.
He's seen it.
You can't deny what you've seen.
He's seen it, and we've seen that, and we saw Jon Snow get resurrected.
Yeah.
So I mean, that could have been Melisandre's powers, or the Lord of Light just being chill that day, wanted to bring back Jon Snow. But I guess Lord of Light will play into a big part at some point in this show because we've heard about him literally almost every single time.
Yeah.
And Melisandre absent, by the way. No word from her because she's on the same little same belief as these gentlemen. So
yeah,
no idea why she's hanging out with them.
She's like the advocate for the Lord of Light.
She's the advocate. Yeah. Then we have the final scene. We had Daenerys Stormborn, Daenerys Targaryen returning to Westeros, setting foot on the former Baratheon stronghold known as Dragonstone. It's obviously a wasteland now, and I just like the fact that the scene was just quiet. No one spoke a fucking word.
Yeah.
Not even the little guy.
Yeah.
You know, not even Tyrion said a word.
Who's known for always having something to say.
Always has a mouth, but this scene...
He realized the importance of the moment.
And this was extremely important, and it's taken 7 goddamn seasons to get here, but Daenerys is back in Westeros.
By the way, it's Daenerys, dude, not Daenerys. It's Daenerys.
Oh, tomato, Daenerys, Danish. Danny, how about that, Danny? Fuck off, man. Who cares?
There's only one Y. There's not a Y and an I.
Emilia Clarke returns to Westeros. And the powerful moment of her walking up the stairs. And we see the war room that Stannis was in.
Yes.
A bunch of times.
Our boy, Stannis Baratheon.
First of his name, rightful heir to the throne. Oh, I do miss that line. That's one of my favorite lines in Game of Thrones history. But yeah, it's been abandoned. She rips the banner, the Baratheon banner down, says to hell with that shit.
I can't wait for those I don't even know the name of the company, but the one who did all those parody movies, Epic Movie and shit like that, doing a Game of Thrones thing where they read off the Queen's name, where it's like King of the Andals first was name, blah 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 blah, and they just keep adding on all these ridiculous things, and it's like a 15-minute long affair.
Official client for Allstate Insurance.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the big ending here.
Senior Vice President
of Reese's operations. So Danny gets to the big war room, looks at it. It's fucking dirty. Everything's dirty because it's been abandoned since Stannis has been killed. Stannis died, I believe, last season, right? He got killed off last season. Yeah.
Was it last?
Brienne of Tarth killed him.
Yeah, I know that, but it all kind of blends together because I watched it all.
Yeah, true. That is true. It could have been the end of season 5 or the beginning of season 6. And I don't think it was before the Battle of the Bastards.
It was before the battle because they were going out there and then Brienne found him and
offed him.
Yep.
In the name of his brother who'd fallen a long time ago.
Yes.
So
Rip Renly.
Never forget Renly. He was a good guy. And speaking of Renly, his boyfriend is now the Iron Fist. What a turnaround for that guy. Went from being blown up in a citadel to becoming the Iron Fist. What a brother. What a good brother. So Danny is in the war room, says, shall we begin? And that's how the episode goes off the air. So now we will get to going here on this war. Let's go, people. Got to get killing. Got to get to killing.
We only got 6 more episodes left of the season.
Got to get to the dragons. We have to have a big dragon fight with Optimus Prime eventually when Cersei hires them. And yeah, so we can't wait to see what happens here. By the way, dragons, first time they've been in Westeros in good amount of time.
Yeah.
Since the Targaryen dynasty ruled Westeros. But yeah, that's how it goes off the air. And what are your hopes for episode 2 here, Anthony?
My hopes for episode 2.
Obviously, they get into motion the war strategy, and the other Greyjoy, the dickless Greyjoys, are in talks.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens there. But what do you think is going to happen on episode 2?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Talking.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of. It's a dialogue-heavy show, but I'm sure we'll see a further split in the Sansa Jon Snow camp, or at least maybe not between them, but I'm sure Littlefinger will try to get involved because he's
Peter
gonna
fucking
he's gonna make
Baelish.
this he's gonna make this about him at some point because he did come in and save the day if it wasn't for him.
That's true.
Yeah.
And Peter's been on the low, trying to be a good guy, but he has evil
Peter
intentions.
Baelish is not a good guy.
No,
he's
he's
another
never.
power hungry. Yeah.
Never been a good guy. Boy, that I don't know how that guy's lasted. I mean, to his credit, he's lasted this long.
It's not. I think there is a shred of goodness in him somewhere.
But he's consumed with power.
He's consumed with power, and he will lie, cheat, and steal to get get ahead. Yep.
Whatever he wants, because he was bullied as a child.
Yes, but I also think that the whole him loving Catelyn and seeing her in Sansa, I think that he will actually fall for really fall for Sansa and get in line with her at some point. So, but not before he attempts to fuck things up.
However,
his gain.
I will contact Peter Baelish. Okay, we'll send the Raven for him. Let him know that in the little parchment that it says, "Don't fucking touch Sansa." Sincerely, Joey Nohana. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Okay? That is my wife. You heard me, Anthony. That is my
Whoa,
girl.
dude.
You
Back
can have
off.
Arya. She's of age, I guess, I think.
Nah,
Just
bro.
braces.
Nah, bro.
Speaking of Sansa, I just want to point out one thing before we finish this up. That her voice is significantly a little deeper than last season. Or no, it's been getting gradually deeper, but she's been definitely turning into a young woman.
Well, I was about to say she's still a developing young woman because people don't stop growing till they're in their early 20s, and she's only 21. So
only 21 years old. Jesus Christ. Well, these children have certainly grown up before my eyes in a matter of 3 to 4 weeks that I binged the show. But yeah, that's it. That's episode 1. We'll be back again next week to talk episode 2. See where everything goes from here, and the Stormborn War begins. As of right now, we will speak to the Unsullied. I'll get a report from the Unsullied to see what's going on behind the camp. And until then, we'll see you guys next week. Take care.